Hi, Joanne and Levi here again, SaratogaWine.com, our second installment on the Irish whiskeys that we're going to be tasting. These are a little more traditional than the last segment that we did, so let's jump right in.
So the first one we have is the Element triple distilled Irish whiskey from Element Distillery. They are a open innovation, still trying to do kind of some crowd sourcing, doing blends by reaching out to people so they can correct things. It's kind of a unique way of, doing some collaboration and giving customers actually what they want. This is a traditional blend. They're pulling from everywhere, all different sorts of finishes, and kind of just put something together that would please the people.
Oh wow, that's a different nose than we've had in the past. Mm-hmm. You can definitely tell blended because you get a bunch of different
there's
scents coming out.
You're playing to the fruit, you're playing to some floral, you're playing to, the vanilla's still there's still that kind of round vanilla-ness.
The finish just carries through. I think what I got initially, the vanilla's there as underlying, but you definitely get some floral coming through, a little bit of fruit, pretty nicely balanced though. Not a super long finish, and again, the proof is an okay proof. It's not too heavy, I don't think, and I kind of like that.
Yeah, I find this to be kind of well-rounded there. Definitely on the body, you're getting a rounded texture, and it becomes super soft and supple at the end too, and without any aggressive spice or burn behind it. All right, so the second bottle here we have is Method Madness. This is a project from Middleton. It's a converted warehouse into a micro distillery they're running within their facility, and it's a combination of masters and apprentices working side by side, coming up with whatever they think is interesting. And so this is their single grain, matured in bourbon barrel, then finished in Spanish oak. So kind of different blends of the grains too, following suit, but a lot more pronouncement on elevated wood styles.
This one I would say isn't quite as pronounced on the nose as the first one that we had. It's still a lovely nose. It's just, I think it blends a little bit more. It doesn't really jump out. You don't get a specific scent that jumps out to me.
It's a softer toastiness to it.
The palate gives you a little bit more, I think, than the nose does. You get that toasted kind of, you can tell the wood coming through a little bit on that.
Yeah, the wood definitely is much more prominent. You're still getting kind of dessert spices, but it's much softer, almost like a breaded toast. And instead of fruits, you're definitely playing more towards like sticks and grain stuff, but still a sweetness on the finish there, kind of similarities between the two. There's a sweetness that rounds it all out and makes it very approachable.
Absolutely.
Right. And so the last one here we have is the Waterford the Cuvée. They are highlighting 25 different single terroirs, and they do different releases featuring different biodynamics, single terroirs, different bottles yearly, everything they can possibly put out, kind of following the same principles of like a Bordeaux winery, doing different blends, trying to make the best they can out of what they have and also highlight specific pieces of land. So this is the Cuvée. That's a blend of all 25 of their properties, and still a single malt, no age statement on it, but because of who knows could be in it, but I think they've come up with a pretty outstanding product. For me, this is immediately your creme brulee custard. Texturally itself, it's very warm and toasty, and
very much. I was going to say, it reminds me of just having dessert right now. Oh, that's a wonderful palate. And again, I think I picture myself after a meal having this almost as a dessert kind of.
It totally plays in dessert thing. There's much more of like a citrus, maybe a pear, a little more of the lighter fruit concept there, but still that custardy, it even feels custardy for me on the palate. Just there's this even more than these three extra roundness.
Yeah, it reminds me of when you step into a dessert wine type.
Oh, absolutely.
So.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of the similarities across these, like not crazy on the finishes, but so much as these are the fundamentals of what people look for in an Irish whiskey, and at 3 different degrees, they all kind of fit the bill and quench the thirst.
Absolutely. And these bottles are beautiful. They're very modern, and then you have some nice artwork, and this changes every year. Beautiful bottle, really stands out.
You can find these bottles and more at SaratogaWine.com. Thanks for joining me today.
Cheers.